日本時間9月11日、ロサンゼルスドジャースのタイラー・グラスノー投手がベイスポーツ番組、ファールテリトリーに出演しました。番組冒頭では、ファンやメディアでも大きな注目を集めた、ノーヒットノーラン未遂について切り込み、グラスノー本人に当時の心境や舞台裏を直撃。インタビューでは、試合中の球数の増え方や7回以降の緊張感、そしてデーブ・ロバーツ監督による交代の判断に対して、自身がどう受け止めていたのかが語られました。さらに話題は、近年導入されたピッチコムにも及び、時折起こる不具合や、投手として感じる難しさについても率直に言及。打者にはバットでタイムを取る自由がある一方で、投手には同じような余裕がない現状を指摘し、もし投手にもタイムアウトがあれば、という思いを口にしました。シーズン終盤を迎え、プレーオフを見据えた調整の重要性にも触れたグラスノー。冷静ながらも、現場でしか語れないリアルな声が詰まったインタビューとなりました。これらの模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Nasty stuff on the mound that night. He's continued to throw the baseball really well. We will see him pitching next against the Phillies in the next homestand. May 15th, the first of the 50-50 bobblehead giveaways. He hit 2 home runs, 6 RBIs in a Dodgers win over the Oakland A's. Adrian.
His middle name might be Bobblehead Night because he is the best player I've ever seen in my life. I mean, he might be the best player I've ever seen in my life, but you know, on Bobblehead Night, he is special. 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. I mean, when it's his night to shine, he goes out there and he shines.
Oh, but wait, there is more. April the 2nd, his NL MVP bobblehead night, and he was doing MVP things, D-Train. Hit a walk-off home run to defeat the Atlanta Braves.
I mean, we were here working, and you almost could see it coming a mile away. That whole situation, getting Iglesias, one of the better closers in all of baseball. He stayed back on the changeup, and as soon as he barreled it, everybody said, oh, let's hustle to our cars because it's going to be some traffic because Big Show sent us home.
Well, now we just cannot wait to see what he does tonight, and it's worth noting that he is just 2 home runs shy of a second consecutive 50-homer season, Adrian. So we wouldn't put anything past Shohei to possibly hit both of those tonight and to get to 50.
Last time we were looking at him to hit 50 home runs, he went past 50 home runs. So, you know, there's nothing against him going 3 homers today and getting 251 home runs. So I wouldn't put anything past Shohei, especially in a night like this. You know, there's something special brewing in the air.
He's just fun to watch, man. And when the lights are brightest, he plays his best. And he has that special it gene. But I agree, sweet swing. It doesn't take him a lot to generate power. So, man, he's going to cover the baseball. He's been successful against Freeland in his career. So it's going to be a tough matchup, but it's going to be fun.
In the history of this great franchise, we had never seen anybody hit 50 home runs in a season. And now he's looking to do it for the second straight year. Ohtani, needless to say, is something special.
Well, Tommy, welcome back. First and foremost, just with this ankle injury, we know you're going to be out there in center field today. Do you feel like you are now officially past kind of not having to worry about it moving forward?
Yeah, you know, I feel pretty good. I feel like I'm able to be effective on defense, on the base pass, and hitting. So, you know, it's been a while since I've played, so I'm excited to get back in there again.
What was just the final kind of check mark for you with understanding this ankle and knowing that the mobility was in a good spot?
Just getting some defensive innings under my belt. Played a few games and with the OKC team and came out all right. So once I was able to, you know, check that box, I felt comfortable being able to play defense in the big leagues.
They've made it sound like center is a little bit easier on the ankle now than second base. Kind of how different are those spots, and just how's the ankle feeling at both of them?
I mean, I don't really know. I think they're probably about the same right now. It's not really. One will feel way better than the other. I guess I won't really know until I play both positions. But you know, I think, you know, the biggest thing is just gonna be the first step. So I'll feel like I'll get a better feel for that once I have to make a couple tough plays out there.
Big sense of relief knowing that the postseason's right around the corner and you're back.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, this is the best time of the year for baseball. You know, all these games are really important, and hopefully we can get some momentum going these last few weeks of season and carry it into the playoffs.
Was it tough watching, you know, knowing that you want to be out there?
Yeah, for sure. You know, especially this road trip, a lot of tough games, and you know, there's nothing I could do. You know, I was on the road with the rehab process, and so it's difficult to watch. But you know, I'm excited I can help contribute.
You had said before that the ankle is really affecting running more than the swing or anything else, but you know, could that kind of bleed into the offense at any point?
I mean, I really don't feel anything when I'm hitting right now. It's definitely not the. In terms of it affecting me like by being painful, it's not painful at all when I hit. So I don't know if I got into bad habits when I was trying to come back and it still did hurt, but right now I don't feel it at all.
How did last year's ankle injury just kind of prepare you for this one, and when it comes to the recovery, treatment, things like that?
Yeah, I think just being aware of how long the recovery process is going to take, you know, not trying to push it if I wake up one day and it feels really sore. So, you know, I didn't really have any setbacks this time. It was just kind of a slower process, and I think part of that was just me knowing that, hey, this is a day where I shouldn't really push it because I'll just make it worse if I try to do something too much today.
And part of that process is clearly ongoing, right, with your return. So how do you balance the expectations mentally for yourself?
Yeah, you know, I just got to stay diligent with continuing to do all my rehab exercises, keeping the ankle strong, and you know, making sure I'm ready for you know, whatever situations come up, running the bases. I got to make sure I'm getting all those base touches in so that I'm ready when I got to do it in the game, and then just, you know, getting routes and changing direction in the field as well.
How much does it mean to you, Tommy, to be back from the stretch run here?
Yeah,
needs you.
For sure. Yeah, it means a lot. You know, like I was saying, it's a really fun time of the year for baseball, and it's tough watching when we're not playing well. And it's honestly, it feels tougher, and I feel like I get more nervous when I'm not playing versus when I am playing, because I feel like I can have an impact on the game. So I'm excited that I get to be back and playing with these guys again.
With a deep fly out to left center field on the first pitch of the game, so he's 0 for 1. The first pitch he sees in the second inning. Ground ball, base hit right field. Pages scores a 3-spot for the Dodgers in the second.
You throw Ohtani a left-on-left breaking ball, you're trying to make it look like a strike, end up a ball, get away from his extended arms. Well, this one is up and hanging to the inner half. It allows him to get a lot of barrel on it and shove it through the infield.
This ball pulled through the right side. It's an RBI single for Shohei Ohtani, and that's RBI number 92 for Ohtani, and it's a 3-run second inning.
He has now reached in 31 straight games against the Rockies. And he just pulls his ball in between first and second.
4-0 lead. 3 more outs to get some insurance runs. It'll be Pages, Kike Hernandez, and Ben Rortvedt. And rest assured, everybody who is still here at Dodger Stadium hoping at least one of them can get on to give Ohtani another opportunity at the plate to finish his bobblehead night.
You went over the whole schedule of how on the bobblehead nights he's done really well offensively. I just hope the bobblehead in the pitching posture is not jinxing the bat.
Well, we've seen him shove on the mound, but that was the home run, the 50-50 bobblehead, when he struck out 9 Reds.
If we were in Little League and there were bobbleheads, I would have him close out the game. And he would strike out the side with the pitching bobblehead given away that day.
I'm looking to see if Kirsten's going to relay your message to Doc.
No, I don't think so. But everything we watch about him anyway is kind of slightly like fantasy. It's amazing. The Dodger fantasy camp started today. The attendees are here watching the game, and then we'll continue on with their workouts and being coached up by Dodger legends, and then they're going to have games tomorrow. They're going to have double headers, and they're going to have a championship game on, I think, Sunday. So I had a little speaking engagement with the group before the game, and one of the questions was about Shohei. Like, is it absolutely amazing to see somebody be elite on the mound and elite at the plate and be MVP caliber in both categories. And I said it's like playing 2 sports on the same field. That's how an accomplishment it is.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be like being a Hall of Fame running back and then what? Switch over to basketball and be the 3-point shooting guard on a world championship team that you're the MVP of. He is playing 2 sports on one field. And it's crazy how good he is at both.
Kirsten Watson, I wonder when his next appearance on the mound will be.
Yeah, Stephen, so Dave Roberts was saying that he's actually going to be scheduled to pitch in that Philly series back here in Los Angeles. Of course, was thought just when you kind of look at the schedule that he might have an outing in San Francisco this weekend. But Dave did confirm that they are going to hold him and push him back to that Philly series, but no decision just yet on the exact date for his next start, guys.
I mean, what are the other athletes you think about? I think about Bo Jackson in the 2 sports, right? I think about Deion Sanders in the 2 sports. And he's doing that, but he's doing it on one field. Michael Jordan left basketball for a little bit and went out down and played AA baseball for a while with Terry Francona, I think was the manager, and was nice enough to buy them a nice bus to travel around in AA. But Michael, you know, that's 2 sport, but it wasn't star. But yeah, Shohei is doing it on the same field, but it is 2 different sports to be a big league hitter and a big league pitcher at the ultimate elite level, both.
Yeah, the current comparison sports fans are making is Ohtani to Travis Hunter. He's a cornerback / wide receiver, was a star at Colorado, now high draft pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. But you put it so eloquently to the campers asking about Ohtani's excellence. People ask me, yeah, it's dumb. It doesn't make any sense. That's all I got.
Yeah. Well, so when you mention this football player, isn't it the same skills though for both sides of the ball that he's using?
Well, there's ball skills involved, sure, but you're a receiver. You're running around ahead.
Right. You're running routes and you're guarding routes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but with Shohei, you're swinging a bat and throwing a ball. It's like 2 completely different things. You said people are comparing him to this guy, but I don't even think it's close.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I thought you did. I could tell by your posture.
And my facial expression emphatically telling you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I get, you know, the speculation of what somebody else is doing, but I just don't even think they're on the same planet. If somebody's going to do it again, and now that the culture is kind of not expecting it, but accepting it, I think it'll be done from a guy who first is a pitcher, like Ohtani loves first, because you will find great athletes that can pitch that also can hit. Fernando, Darren Dreifert. There are plenty of those guys. Now, will they get the opportunity to play every day as a DH and also pitch?
Count ball, 3 inside on Ben Rortvedt.
And I think Shohei came through in a perfect place as far as from Japan to doing it there, to proving it can be done, to wanting to be in the big leagues and the big leagues wanting him, and then having the power to say, I want to do both. And somebody saying, we want you that bad you can.
And that's why people like Paul Skeens, who came up with 2-way prospect, called him an inspiration, because he has opened the door. He has made it more of a possibility that we do see it again.
And people are looking for it now, not just like players forcing it. Making a name for himself. First impressions are huge, and he is making it more and more opportunities now and in his future.
So the bottom of the order did what the fans wanted. They get Shohei Ohtani to the plate for one more shot. 1 for 3, a base hit, an RBI, a walk and a run scored.
He's a very dangerous hitter right now. 2 small knockdown pitches. I think he's in swing mode. I don't think he wants a little revenge.
Looking to provide another exclamation point on a bobblehead night. Shoots the ball to left field, but it's right at Beck. With room to spare in front of the track, he's got out number 2, Pages and Rortvedt. stay where they're at. Oh, catcher's interference?
Yeah, I think so, because I was looking at the bat speed going, did the off-speed pitch get him that much sting out of his bat? And he must have touched the glove. And he does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's one way to get him to not hit a home run on his bobblehead.
Just stick the glove out there. Braxton Fulford, sacrifice your hand.
All right, here we go. Tyler Glasnow back on Foul Territory. Good to see you, Tyler. Crazy last few days. We were excited to talk to you about the near no-nos that are occurring. How you doing, and do you know how many no-hitters we've seen in baseball this year?
I'm good. First of all, and no. Is there zero, right? Isn't this like a no-hitter season or something? Yeah.
No.
What's a normal
2005.
no-hitter season?
Yeah. 2005.
Wait, what?
Last time there was not a no-hitter in a season was the year that the Chicago White Sox were led by A.J. Przinsky and won a World Series.
Wait, how many?
So,
what's an average year? Like 2? 1, 2?
It's around 2.
2? Yeah.
Yeah, it's about 2 per year. But the last 15, they're averaging about 4 until this year.
Oh, damn.
So,
well,
way to go, Tyler. You almost got one. So
not quite, but
Well, take us through it. Were you like, please, or were you like, I know you're going to cap me. I'm already at, what was it, 105 or something through 7?
I think at 107. The start before I had no hit through 6, and I had like a normal pitch count, or like enough to do it, and then my 7th inning sucked, so I didn't do it then. And that time it probably felt a little bit more real. I think this time I had like 50 pitches in the first 2 innings, so I kind of figured just after 7 with 107 pitches, I figured they weren't going to let me keep going. I would have loved to, but I just think like with playoffs coming up and I guess like my last few years of like injuries, like I completely understand. Obviously, too, anytime you're in the game and like someone asks you if you want to stay in, you're always going to say yes. It's kind of, I'll always be like, yeah, just let me keep going. But I respect the decision to take me out. It's fine.
What did he even give you the option? Or when you came off the mound, was Doc like, hey, good job, you're done?
Yeah, more that one, which I kind of expected him to a little bit. But yeah, I didn't really have like the option to go back out or anything. If I did, I would have tried to argue my case, but it is what it is. The decision was made.
But you missed. You got scratched just a few days before. Mm-hmm. Does that go into the decision for Doc? Is Doc like, hey, you know what? Your back was a little cranky. We're gonna definitely
probably.
I get it. It's 107, but
yeah, I think maybe a little bit. I think just with that, the 107 pitch count, playoffs coming up, I think it was like a factor of everything. I think too, it's kind of weird. Like, not all 107 is created equal, I guess. Like, there's been some starts where I'm like 80 pitches in and it's like high stress innings and everything like that. And you can kind of feel it. But that game, I didn't have a ton of runners on or any like sort of high stress innings. And it felt like a pretty, I don't know. I felt like I could have gone a lot more. But I just think it kind of depends on the innings and what the 107 pitches were, I think. But yeah, it is what it is. We ended up winning, which was good. So that's all I want.
I was going to say, what's the max you could go? What do you think you could
pitches?
If you were pressed? Yeah,
I think a lot. The thing that's weird about starting is like once you get to a certain limit, like you don't feel like you get into that like anaerobic state. When you're at 100 pitches, you don't feel like you need to stop throwing. There's certain games, maybe like a couple a year, where you're really fighting yourself all game, and there's like stressful innings, and you're feeling tired. But something around like 85, 90 pitches, something happens. You get like that second wind. And in my brain, I feel like I can throw a ton of pitches, but I think that's more of like adrenaline and like that anaerobic thing kicking in. And I don't know if that's like the best measurement, but it feels like you can pitch forever at a certain point. I think a lot of starters would like relate to that feeling, but after a certain amount of pitches, it just feels like you can just keep going and going and going.
So how much more sore are you then once you hit that, what'd you say, 80 to 90 pitch count? The next day, like, is it longer recovery or is it longer days of recovery or more sore the next day?
It's kind of, there's not like a formula to it, I'd say. I think the only thing I can really notice is if I have like, I'll have some games where I'm 4 or 5 innings and it's high stress. Like mechanics aren't as smooth. you're kind of fighting yourself. Like every pitch feels a little bit different. It's kind of more of a mental grind to stay locked in. And it's just like a lot of effort to manufacture the same stuff, same velo. And then there's certain games like 2 days ago when I pitched where everything is just kind of lined up. And I think like the stressful innings is the biggest thing for me, I guess. So I think like this time around, I feel really good. I don't feel that sore. But there's some starts previously where I'll be at like 85 pitches and like a ton of runners on in the stretch a lot, doing all that. And then you feel a bit more sore. But this week I feel fine. I also had like being scratched, I had like 9 days. So I had a lot more time. But I feel totally normal, probably more on like the better end of normal after this one.
That's good. That's good. You mentioned the key though in your no-hitter, or almost no-hitter, that you guys won. Because not long ago, not many games before that, you guys had 8 2/3.
Yeah.
Yamamoto, here he was right there. Halladay hits the home run, and then all hell broke loose. What were you guys thinking on the bench? Because I can't even imagine 8 2/3. You're thinking, hey, Yamamoto, here we go. We got a no-hitter, guys. And then all of a sudden, everyone's walking off. It was one of the craziest games I've ever seen.
Yeah. That was when I had like the little back spasm. They sent me home to get imaging. Everything was fine, but I wasn't actually in the dugout that game. From what I could tell on TV, it was pretty, I don't know. That would have been pretty rough to sit in there for that. But yeah, it just seemed like everything that last inning, what went wrong could have gone wrong, and felt bad for Yama. I think like the ultimate thing that sucks is like ending up not winning that game, but I don't know. He pitched really well. He looked really good. And that was a tough loss for sure. That's probably one of the like worst ones I've seen or been a part of. Just the feeling, of course, like just what could have been and then how it ended up happening. Just for like the full 180. I've never really been a part of anything like that.
So was it your fault? Did you move in your hotel room? Like were you sitting there on the edge of your bed and you're like, holy crap, I got to pee, but I can't because Yama's got to. Okay, it's the 8th inning. Come on, let's go. So. Did you hear anything of anybody that moved during the 8th, 9th inning there where it was like, it was your fault?
No, honestly, I was back home. I was just watching the game, and then I went back and like I didn't even want to ask any questions. It was already like a few days past, and then I didn't want to bring it back up, so I didn't bring it up again or talk about it. It was one of those things where we all saw what happened, and we were like, let's just get that out of our mind and just continue to play baseball.
Are you a no-talk guy? Are you a no-talk during a no-hitter guy? Or are you like when you were in the 6th, 7th inning, were you don't talk to me guy? Or were you it's okay to still talk to me and we can talk about me having a no-hitter?
That's fine. I don't think anyone would come up and talk about a no-hitter just because like there are certain people who maybe you can't, but no, not really. I'd rather just keep it normal. You know, like I think everyone's already aware of what's going on, and I'm not a very superstitious person, so like I believe that if you do or don't talk about it, I don't think anyone has that much power to like dictate a no-hitter from like a superstition. But I'm a big like in between innings, I don't sit in the dugout a ton. I'm a big pacer. Like I don't really like sitting down, and I like to do like keep my heart rate up a little bit. I don't like to just sit there, so I'm usually in the tunnel doing stuff, like moving around. Whatever it is I need to do, like Theragun, whatever it is. So I'm kind of down there talking to, like, coaches will come in. But I'm not, like, pacing around in the dugout. It looks kind of crazy with me walking back and forth, so I just do it in the tunnel.
All right. Well, we have 2 catchers on here, and there is one person that can dictate whether it's a no-hitter or not.
You know what I mean. Not from words.
I know what you
calling,
mean.
of course. Yeah.
Pitch calling. Ben Rortved's out there. He was with the team for like 1 minute. Like his uniform was still drying. Like, and he goes out and almost gets 2 no-hitters in 3 games. How hard is it to make that transition to a new catcher? And how crazy is it that he came in and did this for you guys in these 3 days?
Yeah, it's nuts. I actually met him last year at a wedding. And he was with the Rays, and I had some mutual friends with him, and I got to know him relatively well, like the night we talked. And he's like super engaging. I think he takes catching obviously very seriously. Like he's always been known for his glove and his pitch calling, and for him to come in and like fit in, he's very personable and like fits in well. It's hard to like jump around teams and stuff like that, but he came in, kind of had the feeling of like, oh, this guy's been here a while. He's very comfortable. got to talking to him, came in, caught a really good game for Yama, and then it was just not, we got on the same page quick. Like, first inning, we had some pitch calling, some setup stuff, and then like as the game went on, we got into a really good flow. And we were on the same page the whole time. How my stuff was like leaking. Like early on, I was yanking four seams and sliders, so we kind of reverted to like a sinker. He started shifting into righties with the sinker to try to get me more online, and that kind of started getting my slider back on. My four seam sort of sucked the whole game, but he kind of navigated me back into the zone really well. And then last night, Sheehan pitched and had a no-hitter into the sixth. I guess that wasn't him, but like just in general, like with the no-hitters and stuff, it's kind of wild. But yeah, I really love throwing him. He was kind of awesome.
All right, every single freaking night we have some issue with the pitch com. Every night there's something. Yeah. Have you ever had an issue like you, Darvish, had the other day where he was like pushing sinker? He was like over here pushing sinker, and Felix Fermin didn't hear it or something, and he called curveball, and so you was like, sure, curveball, and then gave up a dinger.
I've had the only thing, I don't call my own pitches, or like I don't have a plate or whatever the thing is called. I just kind of like will shake off with the catcher. The only thing that sucks sometimes is the pitch clock when there's like a guy on and like I'll get a sign kind of late. And you're trying to shake back to a sign you want, and there's not enough time. And there's been multiple times where I'm like at 3 seconds, and then like the last sign, I just go, all right, whatever, and I'll just throw it. And I'm like trying to get to like a slider, let's say, and I've got 2 seconds left, and it's like he just happens to be on sinker or fastball. I just go, fine, whatever. Like I'll get it out of the zone, or I'll put it where I want to try to put it. But it happens kind of a lot. There's a guy on, you can step off, but there's no one on. There's been some times with like 3-2, 2-2, where it's like I just have to throw whatever I can throw. It just sucks too, because like hitters will get a timeout and at bat, and I always like figured we'd get like 1 or 2 pitch comm things an inning, and like I think after a certain amount of time you can't step off and be like, my pitch comm's not working, or like you can't get to the sign in time. I wish we had like 1 of those an inning to try to get on the same page, just because it's so many times it's 3-2 with no one on, and you're like, all right, now I got to throw a pitch I don't want to throw.
Should there be a timeout? Like, is there a way to like say, oh, well, this could cause an injury. This could cause, obviously you could be like, oh, I don't want to throw that pitch. That could cause a run. Major League Baseball doesn't care about that. But is there a way that you could, as a players union, bring it up and say, hey, pitchers should have a timeout, which I think they should, but from a starting pitcher, it means more.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys have talked about that. Like if a hitter gets a timeout in at bat, which I understand as well, like I think we should be able to have a timeout. And there's a couple different things I wish we could change. Like the pitch clock for the warm up in between innings, I wish was a little bit longer, just because it takes you a little bit of time to get out there. You have time for like 5 or 6 warm ups, and I think for me, especially like my first couple pitches are always slower in the inning, just because I don't feel like I'm fully ready to go, and I'm like in the tunnel doing stuff. I know a couple guys have some issues with that, and like I do think we should get like at least a timeout in at bat. And I think in the whole scope of trying to save time for games, like a little bit extra time and some timeouts is probably going to add like a minute, 2 minutes to the overall time of the game. So I don't know. I think it would be kind of nice.